Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know, I've been away for a while, but I'm trying to be back. A lot of things changed in the last couple of months, in case you haven't noticed, from the shorts that I uploaded in my channel and everything, and for everything that I uploaded on my Instagram as well. I'm pregnant. It's not something I planned, of course, but I'm really happy. I was away for a while because I had a lot of adjustments to make in my life, just to make sure that I had everything, in place for this child to come. So basically that's it. So I just thought we would, catch up while I do my makeup for the day. Something very simple. I'm not going to do anything crazy. So let's start. Like I said in the beginning, I'm pregnant. I'm currently 6 months and a couple of days. Well, when this uploads, of course, it's going to be longer. But at this point in time, I am 6 months and a couple of days, which means that my baby is going to be born in December, if he doesn't decide to come earlier, of course. And, I'm a bit speechless because, it was something that I wanted for a while, to be a mom, of course. I always thought that by this time, I would have a family and all that. The universe had other plans for me, and the plan for me was for me to be a mom now. So I had a lot of adjustments to make. Not only, in my personal life, actually I didn't. The only thing I had to do is basically tell my family and everything, which was kind of funny because when I told them, it was Easter Sunday. So it was when I found out I was pregnant on Easter Sunday. And I basically told them, my parents and my sister, on that same day. And it was a bit of a shock for everyone because, like I said, it wasn't planned. I was asked this so many times, it was not planned, no, but it's very much wanted. So this is basically how I found out. I know that I did a test. I had this gut feeling that something was going on. And, I know that is a bit crazy and you're probably going to think that I'm crazy, but that's fine. I'm used to it. It's fine. So basically, before I even did the test, I was already feeling that I was not alone, which is kind of weird, right? I know, but I always thought I was this person that, I had these, how can I explain this without sounding crazy, of course? I had these, it's not premonitions, but that sixth feeling that everyone thinks, everyone says that women have. I must have like the sixth and the seventh because, listen, I knew I wasn't alone. And I had this gut feeling for a while, which was kind of weird because I've only found out I was a month and a half pregnant. So I already knew before. Well, I had this gut feeling, of course, I was like 99% sure. And I was like, nah, of course, this doesn't happen to me like this, this is not how it's supposed to be. It's going to be a bit, more in the future. Probably I'm no longer in this house, all those feelings that people usually have when they plan something like this. Like I said, the universe had, a different plan for me. But that's totally fine, I'm super happy. And honestly, it didn't took me long to actually think, oh my god, I'm pregnant. It was something that I just, I did this first test, the line was super fainted, and then I did the other one, the weekly one. That one says pregnant and then the weeks. And I was like, okay, now I have 2 tests to say that I'm pregnant, so I am pregnant, obviously. But I wasn't like super in shock. I'm 31 at the time, of course. No, I'm already 32. I'm 31 going on 32. I have a stable life. I have a house. I have a car. I have a stable job. I have a good financial security, so it's fine. Now I have the support of my family, which I didn't doubt that I was going to have. Obviously not. All of a sudden I'm like, I'm going forward with this. I don't care what happens. I just want this. I was so super sure. Obviously, I went to, doctor's appointments and all that. Everything was fine. The first one that I went, it was a bit too early, so it was like a couple of days after I found out. It was like 2 or 3 days after, so a bit too early. So there was not much that could be seen at the time. I just wanted to be sure that I was doing everything that I could, to make sure that this pregnancy was going to be completely healthy and all that. So, I'm taking like the multivitamins. I'm taking, I stopped eating certain things, or stopped drinking that glass of wine that I used to drink weekly. I was a bit more careful with the things that I was going to eat, and of course, then I was like, okay, so now I have to do exams to see if everything is fine, blood tests and all that. Everything was fine, which perfect. And yeah, so that was basically how I found out. It was kind of cool. I went to my parents because it was Easter Sunday, and then I was super, 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 super nervous. Not because I was afraid of their reaction. I wasn't. I was just, it was a surprise for me, so it was most likely a surprise for them. Yeah, I remembered I was in the living room with my sister and my mom, and I was like, listen, I have something to tell you. I don't know exactly how to tell you this, so I'm just going to show you. And they were like, okay, is it something serious? And I was like, well, it depends on how you see it. And they were like super quiet. Okay, so just tell us what it is already. And then I just pulled out one test out of my bag, and then the other one. And my sister was like, you joking? And I was like, no, I'm actually not. Listen, these are both positive tests. A month and a half pregnant. I want this baby. I want to go through with this pregnancy. And there was like this quiet moment, everyone was just, gathering their thoughts. Obviously it was positive. But yeah, I just, just saw everyone's like brains just working like, but it was all fine. It was like, it looked like longer than it was. It was probably just a couple of seconds, and then they were like, okay, we are here for you. Obviously, my family is extremely supportive, since I was born. So I was not expecting anything else. Then I cried like a freaking baby. It was a mixture of relief and happiness at the same time, that feeling that we have that we don't want to go through this without them, that kind of feeling. Exactly. I cannot explain exactly the feeling, but it was something like this. It was a very weird and happy moment at the same time. I started to take immediately the prenatal vitamins. That is like a huge mix of stuff, which obviously I need. I started to take these shots of B12 because, as you know, I don't eat meat. I started eating fish again because I'm pregnant, so I started eating fish more because I want my baby to have everything he deserves and everything he needs to develop perfectly. And then it was like this huge confusion because here in Portugal things are a bit different, right? So between appointments in the public section and appointments in the private section, and because I have insurance, so I wanted to be in the private section, being followed by doctors there because it was faster, it was easier, it was next to me, everything was like super mega scheduled. I'm a control freak, I admit it, it's fine. So I needed things to be a bit more scheduled. And on the public section, it never is. Especially something like maternal health or whatever they call it here. I don't know the exact translation, but it's something like that. So I had, so that in 6 months, well, a bit less, of course, because I only found out when I was a month and a half. So in 5 months, whatever, I had 2 appointments on the public section, and just one of them was like a maternal. No, actually 2 of them were the maternal thing. I had the first one with a normal doctor, like a general medicine doctor. But yeah, so 3 appointments, and then until now, with exams and everything on the private section, I had at least 1 appointment per month with my obstetrician, and then from time to time, I have, the exams where they see the baby and the heartbeat and they measure him and everything, which is kind of cool because it's like, oh my god, this is so unreal that I have this inside my belly. So I was a lot more supported by the private side of health. I'm actually planning on having my baby on a private hospital because my obstetrician is from there. She does deliveries, and she's amazing. My first one was not that good, so I just swapped, to another one. It's not that she wasn't good, but she was also pregnant, she was not going to follow me until I gave birth, and I needed someone to be consistent. I'm a control freak. I already said this, I need things to be scheduled, I need things to be consistent, because this is a time in everyone's life that we don't have a lot of control. Whatever is happening to our body is happening. The only thing we can do is try to help our body to do this right? And to give it proper nutrition and vitamins and all that, so that it can do this the best it can. But it's a moment that we don't have a lot of control. So, as much control as we can have outside of that pregnancy bit, it's good, right? At least for me it is. So I just thought it was cool for me to have this much support. So I just wanted to, and I just swapped to another obstetrician. And this one, it's like super mega professional, super like you are her priority. Of course the baby is the priority of everyone, but you are your obstetrician's priority. And everything is like you want to be, every preferences you have, any doubts, anything, anything is like you're not judged for any decision. You are followed properly. They give opinion on what you should or shouldn't do, of course, because for me it's my first pregnancy, so what do I know about pregnancy? So it's good to have support, but it's not in like a way like, oh, you need to do this. No, it's like, oh, like, listen, if you want this, you should do this. If you want this, you should do this. But, if you don't want to do the either, we can find a solution together. So it's kind of cool, the support that I'm having. And I'm really, really happy. Yeah, I just wanted to share this with you. Let me just put my spray. I just wanted to, come here and, just talk to you a bit, just catch up because, for 2 months you don't know anything about me, even though I'm posting shorts and everything, but not like a proper video. Of course, now I'm planning to have a lot of videos baby related. Don't worry, it's not going to be like a baby channel now, but I already got so many things already organized that I want to I want to share with you guys, because you never know, I might come to Portugal, I may have babies in Portugal, and, I might have some suggestions for me and, opinions or, things, that I don't know and that I want to have advice on. So yeah, so I thought that we could do like every 2 weeks, something, baby related, and then the next one, baby related, that I'm going to do is like a first trimester, symptoms and anything first trimester related. And then I'm going to do something, like, baby stuff that I already got, stuff that I was advised, stuff that I wasn't advised, what I already have, how I'm organizing things, my feelings and all that, because I think it's important to also share, how am I doing, the reaction of the rest of my family. You're not going to see it because I didn't record it, no one wants to be online, honestly. I can tell you, who were the first people to know, how I did on my workplace, when did I told them, how did I told them, because here in Portugal we have this kind of laws that you cannot. Well, we will go through that in the next videos, of course. And then in the meantime, I'll do normal stuff, So I hope to see you in my next video next week. And I hope you are all fine. And I hope you are as happy or more than me, of course. Not for me, but, for your lives. And yeah, so I'll see you on the next one. Bye.